Okay, Capricorn, welcome. I just finished doing the Scorpio reading, and it's funny because one of my daughters just got home from school and she's a Scorpio and she's the greatest. But she came in today with a keychain that says Scorpio on it that she got in library today. And I just thought that was interesting, so I thought I'd share, but I had to light some Palo Santo. She came in here stinking up the place with her feet. TMI. Okay, let me sit up and shuffle these. I'm gonna do 3 shuffles. This is the Sexual Magic Tarot, and I am not reading these with the traditional meaning of the card. I am reading them intuitively. You can read them with the meanings of that. I'm not really showing the cards. I'm just giving messages. If you would like me to show the cards, I didn't say this in any of the other ones, but if you'd like me to show the cards, just let me know. Maybe I can set this up so that you guys can see them instead of me. Anyway, I'm gonna do 3 more. This is for Capricorn. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I still got it. Having a conversation with the actual human being, but it took me out of my flow. Let's see. The first card is the Desire. Ooh. The second card is the Fear. And the third card is the Lesson. Interesting, Capricorn. Okay. All right, first I want to say you're dealing with a situation, something, person that is literally like everything to you. Like you worship them. There's a smothering feeling I'm getting, and it either is the Capricorn or the person Capricorn's dealing with. I'm feeling like it's a little, there's like a mommy energy to it. I can't explain it, where it's like consoling, like it's okay. You know, like when your kid's having a tantrum over something silly and you're consoling them, but you're just like, this is so ridiculous. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. That's how I'm feeling about it. Like somebody's making a big deal out of nothing. And there's a little bit of an annoying feeling to it, or like a smothering feeling to it, or it's like they'd rather be doing something else, but like, I'm here for you. There's an energy of that, like it's just petty or silly that I'm getting. But the Desire is like they want to know the truth. And I think it's truth about how somebody really feels, what's going on inside of them really, like what's underneath the surface. Like, I want you to talk about that or show me that, or there's a hidden dynamic in a relationship situation or something like that where like you're just wanting to know the truth, because I'm feeling like you have a lot of you're very emotional over the uncertainty or the not knowing, or it's putting you in a place of just you're confused all the time, and that's upsetting you emotionally. You're just like under the water with your feelings, and you just wish this person would be straightforward with you about what's going on. Like, you just want to know so that you know what you need to do. It's like you're relying on this person so that you know what is. Looks like my lip is crusty. I just got chapstick. You're like, sorry, you're like relying on this person for your happiness. Like, you want to know what's going on so you know what to do or how to feel or how to act. And because you don't know, you're not okay. Like, you're just not okay. You're all over the place. I'm feeling like it's just very, 1 minute we're loving each other. It seems, I want to say it seems like it's not, or this situation is like you're making, or they're making it, or it's coming across like they care, or they love you, or that it's this or it's that. But the reality is that it's just an illusion. There's like this whole other side or whole other life or whole other situation that's going on that you can feel, but they're not talking about. And it's like, you want to know, like, you just want to know. You want everything to come into light. You want everything to be talked about. You want to, you don't mind having all these feelings, emotions when you know it's reciprocated. But I'm feeling like the dynamic here is much more of like parent child. Like, somebody needs the other person for like stability or to balance them out, or but the other person that they need for that is kind of just like, I'm over it. But they're not saying that because they know that this person needs them. And even though it might not be in the way that they want to be needed, no, that didn't come out right. This person needs them. And even though they know that they don't want to be the role that the person who's not okay needs, like, you know, like the person playing the mom role or whatever, they're because they need that, they're still there, but they don't really want to be. It's like they know you need it, so they're giving it to you, but you're perceiving it in a totally different way, either the Capricorn is or the person they're dealing with, than what's actually really going on underneath it all. So I think you're at a point where you're just like, can we just get to the point of it? Like, what is going on here? Because you want everything with them, but you can tell that they're not giving it all to you, and you're just over it, and you're like, let's talk about it. Like, you're here for me. I know you're going to be there for me. You care about me, this and that. But I'm kind of going in a different direction with this. And like, are you on board or not? Because I'm feeling you're not. So let's talk about it so that if it's not what I want, I can feel how I feel and get over it and move in a different direction. Okay. And as for the fears I'm getting, you're just terrified that there's somebody else. Your fears are that there is somebody else. There's somebody else. There's somebody else. I'm feeling there's somebody else. And whoever is the person with somebody else, they're playing one role with somebody where they're more of like a nurturing mother type role, or it's like friends with benefits or something like that. But there's this other person that they're involved with that the passion is there. Like, all the stuff that the person who's being mothered wants, they have with somebody else. And I think they can sense that, but they're not literal, they're not telling, they're not sharing that. And their fears are, I want to say, their fears are correct. The thing that they're scared of is happening. And here's the overall message I'm getting, and I'm sorry, but this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that there's a person who has two people. One of the people that person is with can feel there's somebody else, but they're not telling them. And they're like in a mothering role to them, nurturing them, know that they need, this person needs them, so they're kind of staying there. It's like a what's it called? Toxic or a codependent type relationship. But they have this other person that is who they truly, really want to be with, who has, they're doing all the stuff with this person that the one who's being mothered wants to do. And they feel it, but they're not saying anything. And I want to say that somehow they find out, or somehow the truth comes out, or there's a conversation that's finally had that needs to happen, and the person who is being mothered loses their shit. I don't know how else to say it. They lose their shit. And in a way, because they weren't listening to their intuition, they felt it all along. The relationship between them and this other person became more of a codependent mother-child dynamic. And they just kind of were okay with it, even though they weren't. And now they're like finding out details about this person with somebody else, and it just set them over the edge, you know, like they aren't going to choose the relationship that was like the mother dynamic where it was like codependent. It's more of the needy relationship. They're not choosing that one. They're choosing the other one, and now the person who was the child, sorry if this is confusing, this is just how I'm getting in. I don't know if I'm explaining what I'm seeing correctly. They're just not okay, because they're off being happy with this other person, and even though they felt that was going to happen, they felt that was going on, there's like a decision I feel like that was finally made, and they're just like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore, sorry, I'm going to go over here and be happy, this is too much for me. And they're just not okay. I don't know how else to say it. They're jealous. They're upset. They've done it again, I feel like. This isn't the first time. And they're mad at themselves too for not listening to themselves. I feel like the lesson here is like, you knew all along, why didn't you just listen to what you knew? Or like, why did you allow yourself to fall into this codependent role, or you weren't really getting your needs met in the way that you were giving it? Because even though this person was like codependent on like the mother type nurturer, like I'm here for you role, that's how it feels, like annoyed being there. But because they got things from this person, like this person served them, like it served them to be that role for them, because then they gave them stuff or took care of them, and that's how it became codependent. And even though the person who was giving of the stuff, who was the needy one, didn't get necessarily what they wanted in return, it kept them there and it kept that codependency going. And I feel like this is something that they've been through before, and they refuse to change or to see that like it's them, and they had plenty of opportunities to like stop it or for it to go in a different direction. And I feel like a lot of this is like anger at themselves for just allowing it to go on again and for so long, and for not doing it. And there's this weird feeling I'm getting of like you knew, but you just couldn't let go because you thought somehow you could like buy or give them enough stuff, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, where they would finally just be like, okay, yeah, I pick you. Like this other person might seem like a basket case that they're going to choose to be with, and you're confused by that because maybe they're not stable, or they don't have a good job, or they're not a good provider, or they're like whatever, but you're just like, I'm gonna prove to them that it's me, they're gonna pick me. And you kind of stayed for that reason, but then they don't do that, so then you're like mad at yourself because it's like you've been proving yourself or trying to prove yourself, or you feel like you've been trying to prove yourself for so long, and you're not really getting the results that you want to get. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I feel like you just need to start listening to yourself more and do what's best for you more. And if somebody doesn't want to be with you in your life or around you, you just need to like be okay with that and stop trying to be in control of thinking you know what's best for everybody. And I hope that this helped somebody or resonated with somebody. And I just feel like tired. Like they might have like this burst of rage or energy or jealousy, and it's like then they're just exhausted. They're like over it. Like, you know what? I'm so done. I'm so over it. Like they're finally seeing everything is coming to light, or maybe this happening is making them see like how they've done this over and over and over again. And it's finally like, oh my God, I get it now. Like I'm done. I'm never doing this again. And then they're done. They're like exhausted. They're done. They're over it. It's whatever. But Capricorn, I hope that this message resonated with you and somebody got something out of it. If it did, please let me know down below. It could be you or the person you're dealing with. And until next time, I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks.